Why do I like Deadlock? That's an incredibly complex question to answer. Why should you care? Well, I believe Deadlock is genuinely an amazing game, both gameplay and lore-wise. And if you're curious, or just want a video to listen to, I'm right here to give you a brief rundown about why it has personally affected me as a person and has affected how I see the world around me. Yes, I kid you not, Deadlock has affected how I see the world around me. For now though, let me tell you what got me into Deadlock in the first place. The date is August 23rd, 2024. Valve finally lifts its NDA for its closed playtesters, letting them discuss and invite others to their upcoming game, Deadlock. 2 days later, my guardian is looking up images of Deadlock's characters on Google. And up comes an image of Pocket's face. And just like that, I fell in love. Pocket was adorable back then, even with their old model, and nobody can convince me otherwise. But also, the gritty art style kinda called to me. The old, almost noir aesthetic the game had at the time, mixed with the charming personalities and lore each of the characters had, really drove me to do more research on the game myself. And boy, let me tell you, the moment I did more research on Pocket, and the entire game as a whole, oh wow, just like that, I was head over heels for this new world that Valve was building. Everything is so intricately woven together, each character's lore tying into the others. It's like it's a real world with real power struggles and real corruption. It's as beautiful as it is impressive. Of course, don't get me wrong, it's not anywhere near finished. There's a lot of loose ends and unfinished stories, and some characters have lore that just makes no sense with the rest of the world of Deadlock. But even still, I love it. I love how unfinished the game is. I love how the stories are still being built before our very eyes, because that just gives me more of a reason to stay tuned, to keep watching out for updates, new voice lines, new character models, new content as a whole. I only started playing Deadlock around the end of 2024, near Christmas time or so. And at first, I absolutely hated the game. I loved the characters, and I loved the lore, but I hated the gameplay. It was too complex for me at the time. It was my first ever MOBA, and really my first ever video game besides Minecraft and TF2, and I barely played TF2. So, safe to say, it was a huge leap, going from building houses and fighting skeletons to having to learn a whole new type of video game, and all of its mechanics, all at once. Not to mention the fact that I was so in love with Pocket that I refused to play any other character besides Pocket. And god damn, if you've ever played Deadlock, you know how hard Pocket is to play. They're a nightmare. You have to press every button on your keyboard at once just to survive an encounter with a single moan girl. I was so bad at the game, in fact, that I played upwards of 100 bot matches before I gained the courage to play in an actual lobby with real people. And I was insulted quite a few times my first few games. By the way, if you actively insult your teammates just to be rude, you're a loser. But nowadays, in the big 26, I've gotten way better at the game. I'm still not great, obviously. I'm in fucking Alchemist, and I have upwards of 700 hours in the game. But, I mean, way better than the Initiate rank I was stuck in for 5 months? I play not only Pocket now, but also Paige, Billy, Viscus, and a little bit of Victor and Calico. And by a little bit, I mean a little bit, 5 games on them each. But even still, better than just Pocket, right? But enough about the gameplay aspect, let's move on to the lore! The world of Deadlock has always had the supernatural in it, but most of the world liked to believe it was a myth, a monster that would go away the moment you put the covers over your head. But then the Maelstrom happened, an event triggered by an eclipse near the end of the 19th century, which opened multiple astral gates across Earth, letting all kinds of supernatural flood into the world of Deadlock. That's when people finally started to believe what was before their very eyes all along. Now, almost 50 years later, there are two godlike beings called patrons, the Amber Hand and the Sapphire Flame. They feed whoever believes them promises to grant their wishes as long as these people help summon the patrons. Thank you to the Deadlock Wiki for almost all of the information I just relayed to you. But the story of Deadlock isn't just about the Maelstrom. Oh god, no. It's so much more detailed than that. From crime syndicates to ultra-rich, powerful companies to government organizations, there is so many intricate details to the Deadlock lore that makes it feel very, very fleshed out. Let's touch on a few of them. First of all, arguably the biggest, most important aspect of Deadlock's lore, Fairfax Industries. Fairfax Industries is a company best known for making soul-based weaponry, but that's not all they're known for. Fairfax Industries has a touch on almost everything, from book publishing to fighting rings to illegal waste and war crimes. They're quite a huge deal and have quite a huge impact on the world around them, including my favorite, of course, Pocket, aka Aaron Fairfax, the eldest heir of Fairfax Industries. Pocket was the victim of an attempted assassination, and it's heavily implied that Maximilian Fairfax, Fairfax Industries CEO, and Pocket's father, was the one behind it. It's implied that Maximilian hired Calico, yes, cat lady, to assassinate Pocket on their 18th birthday. Well, I shouldn't say implied, it's downright confirmed.
I'm sure Maximilian will have questions. I love tying up loose ends.
Those lines play when Calico kills Pocket, basically confirming that Calico was the one who was hired to assassinate them, and that Maximilian had something to do with it. Not only that, but Viper says that Calico is known for...
Point is, word on the street is that you do sloppy work.
Which is referencing the hit that went bad on Pocket. Looping back to Fairfax Industries as a whole, let's touch on why exactly Maximilian would want Pocket to die in the first place. Maximilian isn't in it for the money. No, he's in it for his legacy.
When you're someone who cares about legacy as much as he does, that's probably more valuable than money.
Exactly.
And Pocket could very well ruin that legacy. Pocket is, or at least seems to be, don't quote me on this, a much nicer and more conscious person than Maximilian is. And making Pocket the new CEO would completely destroy the legacy of power and cruelty that Maximilian so desperately wanted to keep. So, Maximilian ordered Pocket to be killed. Or so it's implied. Maximilian, and Fairfax Industries, is so powerful in fact, that Pocket felt the need to join the ritual and summon a goddamn god just to stop them. Well, Fairfax Industries isn't the only powerful one out there. There are also multiple crime organizations and government organizations, such as the OSIC. The OSIC, or the Occult Security and Investigation Commission, is a secretive black box United States government organization that helps keep the sinister and supernatural out of the country. Hayes, the, sleepy lady, is an OSIC Sandman. Sandmen in the OSIC are from the Sandman Division, whom of which specialize on infiltrating the dreams of persons of interest to investigate them and deem whether or not they are threats. The OSIC as a whole has not confirmed or denied the existence of this division.
An OSIC spokesman has refused to confirm or deny the existence of the notorious Sandman Division. For this story and more, read the New York Oracle.
There's so much more to talk about in the Deadlock lore than just the two I mentioned. But the two I mentioned are pretty big parts of the lore overall, and each of them branch out to help build and create stories for the other characters in the game. But now, I want to talk about how Deadlock has affected me, and the way I see the world around me. First of all, Pocket had a genuinely huge impact on my life. I'm a very traumatized person, really, all of us are. And Pocket's story, and the way they're actively trying to change the course of their and everybody else's history for the better, really inspired me. It inspired me to, instead of just sitting around and moping like I would for years and years of my life, take some control over my life and attempt to build myself up and work on myself. for both myself and all the people around me. Second of all, I've had a lot of video games in my life. I've played a lot of video games in my life, but never have I ever made as many friends as I have on Deadlock. As of this video, I have 32 friend requests on Steam from Deadlock alone. Not to mention all the requests I actually accepted. Deadlock has become a huge part of my life, and almost all of my friends I made through playing Deadlock and enjoying Deadlock. There are so many other ways this game has affected me personally, but for now, I think I've said enough. If you're interested in Deadlock for its gameplay or its lore, I totally recommend you check it out. It's definitely worth looking into, and it's absolutely worth your time and curiosity. So please, think about checking out Deadlock sometime. Read the lore from the wiki. Listen to some voice lines. Play a couple rounds even. And thank you for listening to my rant. Have a good day. Pockets Babygirl out.